Thank you. Is this on? Old ex-teacher suspended me, expelled me. We're fucking on. Which door? Woosah, meditate with me. Can you still hear me? We on? We're fucking on, okay? So today I've been asked to come be a guest speaker at this teaching conference, okay, from the past of, well, abusing teachers and not listening to teachers, and now they want me to come speak to them. So all these teachers are from schools all over Australia. They all came here for this function, and they asked me to be a guest speaker to talk about my past, my story, where I ended up, jail, all my whole story, and tell them all the stuff I've been doing, how schooling affected me, my childhood, jail, everything like that. So I'm gonna go on there and fucking tell them a bit of my story. Fuck yeah. Hey. Okay, that's what we're doing. I don't know which fucking door it is. One door? Two door? Which door? Fuck. Oh, there's heaps of people. There's heaps of people. I don't know fucking which door. I don't just want to walk in on their fucking shit. We'll just wait. Fuck. Let's go. Fucking nervous shit. This is my first big speech as well. Let's go. Fucking ready? Are you ready? Woosah, meditate with me. Meditate with me. And out. There we go. I feel way better. Fucking way better. Meditation is the key, guys. I'll text the teacher. It's fucking weird. Text the teacher that fucking expelled me. How you going? Good? Good, yeah. Good. How long to mine? Like half an hour, eh? It is. Hi, Alethea. Oh yeah, Gemma, my partner. Yeah.
Oh, I read so much about you.
You're famous. When am I on? How long? About half up?
Yeah, but the high school ones are really excited.
Yeah.
The primary school ones are there.
Yeah, also what, there's like all different teachers?
Yeah, so we've got psychologists and teachers and bloody grand poobahs. We had the...
You know I'm going to be swearing in that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sweet.
And I'll just let you know that the language, well, if you're offended, you should be in this job.
Yeah, good. That's a good way to put it. Fucking oath. Good.
So is your mum and dad?
Yeah, they're on their way. They're like just 10 minutes, so it works out well. When am I going on? 3?
Yeah, about 3.
No, sweet. We got time. We got time.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm sweet. I was nervous, but now I'm here, I'm excited. I was nervous in the car, like on the way here, like fucking doing my speech in my head and shit, and she's trying to talk to me. I'm just like, shut up. Try and talk back. She's like, I'll be quiet. I'm like, thank fuck. Nah, but it was good. I'm good. But no, I'm keen. It'd be good. Good to have mum and dad here too.
Yeah,
you know, especially mum. Like I didn't think she would ever be able to see me do something like this. So it's cool.
Been a long time since I've seen your mum.
Yeah, last time you see my mum, I was getting suspended. I was suspending me at school. And then I'm just going to tell them how you got me in speaking in front of those kids, and now how I'm helping those kids, because Jack's with me every week. And his mum stopped drinking. She's in with me. Yeah, she stopped drinking. They're in gym together every day. They're sending me their photos of them in gym together.
That's so cool.
You know, because now I've helped him, like helped Jack, helped him get into the gym. He was quite kid, like he was shut off, but now he's with me. Now he's open, we're chatting, and it's like he's got a mate.
Yeah.
You know, because he didn't have that because he was bullied in school.
Yeah.
How you going? We've got a staircase to heaven for you.
Oh, nice.
Huh?
Hold on.
Here, Bow Park next to that cooling off thing. Okay.
I'll go where I want to go.
All right, you're done.
You'll be right.
You can sit down. Aircon in here.
Good.
Do you remember her from high school?
Oh, vaguely. Primary school, so I can't say. Last time you saw me, I was sending him off with his paper money ball.
Yeah. You want to sit down? Sit down over here behind you. 3 sets of uniforms. Plus the books. It's all right. I was a long-term investment. Long-term investment. Hey, it's paying off now.
Well, it does show. Just got to keep. I've got to go through a really hard.
Can you still hear me?
Education is. There's about 60 in there.
Oh, good. This is your biggest story.
Well, Jack, one of the kids that I spoke from, he comes in every day. He comes into the gym every day with his mum.
Do you see Bodum?
Yeah, huh?
Do you see Bodum lunch?
Bodum. Yeah. He comes in too. He's come and seen me last week. He came in and he wants to see me. Like I just said, I'll train him for free every fortnight. If he comes in, just does it. I'll do him up a meal. I send him a training program and everything, and he's keen. He's keen.
So for the next hour and 15 minutes, I would like to introduce Darcy.
Hello.
I'm going to let Darcy speak for himself, but Darcy is here to talk about the lived experience, working with the cohorts that we work with. And I've given Darcy 2 or 3 questions that might be useful for us to be answered as you talk through your story.
I'll try my best.
But just namely, if we're supporting schools, what do we need to know from your perspective to pass on to teachers and schools of what they can do to help the students that we're working with? So that's really all it is. But I know you've got a really interesting story.
Yeah, buckle up.
I'm not going to take any more time. Can you please put your hand together and welcome Darcy?
Thank you. Is this on? Do I speak into that or do I just speak?
You can if you want. Do you need a...
No, if anyone can, if people can hear me, okay? Hello. So my name is Darcy, okay? Hello everyone, okay? As you can see, I went through a bit of a rough time, okay? And I've been here to tell you guys about my journey, about everything I've done, everything I've been through, what I'm doing now. Because I've done this same speech in front of a group of kids. Miss Hickman over here, old ex-teacher, suspended me 10 times, expelled me, okay? So she reached out to me through social media and she wanted me to go speak in front of a group of kids that you guys are trying to help in her laser program. And I went in there, told my story, and I believe my story, kids can relate to me. Kids can't relate to a football star or someone that's been an athlete since they were 2 or they were born with a 6-pack. You know, like I have my story and I'd sort of explain to these kids where I went, and I could tell the things I was saying, they were doing it right now. Like sitting in a room, smoking drugs, doing that, thinking they're fitting in. Because that's how I started all my stuff, was wanting to fit in, be a part of groups, have friends. That's why I started my whole journey down this road, as you can see. And it led me to attempts on my own life, jail, and sorry, fuck, I'm crying already, sorry. And letting my family down. What the fuck, okay? I'm only just starting, okay? I'm deep breath, I'm good. So, but my journey starts back in primary school when I was a kid. I never fit in. I was a bigger kid in school. That was me when I was 13, so that was when I started using drugs and everything like that. But in school, primary school, I hated school, okay? Because I was always last in the sports carnivals, always made to feel like I wasn't enough. Always, like sports carnivals, I go race and I'm always coming last. You know, I was always eating lunch by myself when I was a kid, all things like that in school, which affected me, and my confidence was shit. You know, and I was always trying to fit in, and this cycle couldn't fit in. And going to swimming carnivals, like, sorry, but fuck that. I'm not going to take my shirt off in front of anyone. Like, I hated myself. Now I'll walk around naked wherever I want. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I never had that confidence back then, and just even going into swimming carnivals and things like this where I wasn't feeling I was enough, always came last, comparing myself to other kids, always not feeling like I was good enough. So that's what, in primary school, like one memory I had when I was in primary school is I was set up for my first kiss with a girl. Okay, went down the back oval, excited. I didn't have any friends. It wasn't that, and I went down there and there was just a group of kids and they laughed at me. And then it was shit. And then I went home and then I getting emotional talking about this. But went home and I just numbed myself with food when I was a kid. So I was just eating, just go home and deal with it like that. And I hated going to school, always pretend to be sick. Mum's like, you got to go. I'm like, fuck, because she doesn't know what I'm going through. But went there and then that set me up going into high school. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody. So I went in, it's like a jungle. School wasn't about, I didn't care about a job. I'm not going to learn shit. I'm going in there to try and just fit in, trying to be myself. And went to school, I had braces, overweight, I had the whole package. So I went in there and everyone was in their groups. I got in school, coming into high school with all their little groups. Kids had all their mate circles and I'm there by myself. So from a young age, I just always eating lunch by myself, and I wasn't going to hang around the footy boys. I wasn't going talking to girls in the dance class that were hot, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking to chicks, I can't even talk in front of anyone, okay? But the kids I did fit in with in school were the ones that were wagging, were the ones that were smoking. That's what I could do. That's what I fit in. That's like that group, and they didn't judge me. Okay, I wasn't judged by these kids because we were just down the back oval and going down there for a smoke, wagging, and I'm laughing with kids. So why the fuck wouldn't I want to keep doing that? I've got friends. I've never had this my whole life. So that's why I started going down the road with drugs. Oh, fuck me. You're going to cry. So I went down that road just smoking on the weekend, like at the back oval, having a durry. And then next minute, you know, weekends, I'm getting invited places to go drink. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm getting invited places. I get to be a part of something now. So me going drinking a bowl of rum, vomiting everywhere, that's fun. We talk about it on Monday. I'm like, fuck yeah, that was fun. And like, but I didn't have fun my whole life. I was just hating myself. And I still hated myself in school, but being a part of this group was numbing that. I didn't feel anything. And that's when I started, like, weekends, and you start smoking weed, having a joint, getting stoned, having a bong, greening out everywhere, everyone's laughing. And that was fun. So then school was just about getting stoned before school, going to school, stoned, getting high before school, because I didn't want to go there. I just wanted to be with my mates. I was getting stoned before school, so I'll get stoned before school. Then I'll go there. My schooling, like, Miss Hickman suspended me 10 times, smoking, fighting. I just started rebelling because that's where I got attention. That's where I was noticed. So I'm not noticed my whole life, and then now I'm in school, I'm known as the bad kid. I'm known as the kid that'll do whatever the fuck he wants, whenever he wants. And I loved it. I thrived on that. Okay, so that just led me down the road. Like high school, I was suspended, expelled, end of year 8, year 9. And at this point, I'm drinking with these kids on the weekends. I get introduced to other circles and these mates, older brothers, okay? And these people were ex-jailbirds, addicts, ice users, heroin addicts, everything. But these were my role models. I had beautiful role models, but I wanted to fit in. Like I didn't want to be a builder. I didn't want to be normal. I wanted to live my life to the fullest. My dream way of dying was being off my head. If I was off my head and I was going to die, I would be happy because I'm off my head. That was my life. Then I would fit in with these older guys. And then over time, schooling just wasn't a thing. I got expelled from school very young. Then I went to my second school, Craigs Lehigh, went there for 2 days, got expelled straight after that, was caught smoking cones down the back oval. Third school, Kedron, went there, was there for 1 day. Mum and me sat down in front of the principal. He's like, mate, this is your last chance. We've seen your record. We're going to give you one more chance here. I'm like, yeah, no worries. Don't give a fuck, okay? And then Mum's like, all right, good luck. And I'm like, yep, sweet. Didn't even go to my first class. Went down the back oval, chopped up, had cones. Because that's what I wanted to do. I had mates that I met up with, and I just wanted to go to their houses and smoke cones and get fucked up. That was my life. So schooling was done. I was out of school, but then at this point, I'm hanging around. I'm 13, 14, hanging around 28, 29-year-olds that are using drugs every day. Like, these were my role models. This is who I wanted to be around. This was my life that I loved. And when I was getting noticed from them, because I'll do what they did. I'd steal. I started stealing, started fighting a lot, okay? Started rebelling, started running away from home. I ran away from home for like 2 years. Mum and Dad didn't know if I was dead or alive, and I was like 14, 15. Okay, like, imagine that. And I know where your son is. Like, fuck, what a dickhead. But I didn't care, because like I wanted to go just do my thing. I didn't care about the pain I was causing them, because I couldn't see it, because I was never there and I was just numb to that. I didn't care about them. I wanted to go get fucking high. I wanted to go be a part of something, stealing, fighting, sneaking out, started graffitiing, spray painting, fighting everyone, just got in a lot of trouble, okay? Got in a lot of trouble, and then this continued on, and then before you know it, I'm hanging around with these older guys that are 28, 29, and they're taking me in. I'm like their little brother, because I'm the one that'll do anything. I'm like their little apprentice. Okay, and these guys, that's when I first started taking speed. So I was taking speed when I was like 14. I started doing drugs. Fuck, I keep doing this, eh? So I started taking speed and hard stuff, and I was like 14. Like, kids are going to like discos and shit. I'm there smoking ice in a room, you know? But I started very young, and it just took over my life. And then I wasn't just using, like, that would be the one thing I look forward to on the weekend, was getting a bag just so I can fucking get off my head. Like, that was a stay awake all weekend. But then because I wasn't going to school, you know, I would hardly be at home. When I did go home, I was just going there for a shower and get clothes. And I'm like, I don't have to be at school, I'll do what I want. I don't have to be at home, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I'll make my own law, I'm my own boss. I was 14, 15, I thought I was a like 28-year-old man, okay, walking around, stealing to get high, doing everything I could to get drugs, just to be a part of this group. And then over time, I started hanging around with more people like that, and then I was using daily. So I was using speed and ice every day. It wasn't weed. I didn't start on coke, I didn't start taking pills, I didn't start anything. I jumped straight to the stuff that I was introduced to. So that's what I knew. So I was using every day, stealing every day, living in trap houses, crackdowns. I was living on couch surfing for most of my teens. Just living in disgusting places, but there it was okay to do drugs. It was just 24/7, everyone was on the drugs, and it was easy to get. It was people around, and that's like, we'll just get high together, we'll stay awake, go out graffitiing, stealing, doing whatever I can. I used to go steal thousands of dollars worth of clothes and go sell it for $100 bag of drugs just so I can get high. That's what I did every day. And then slowly over time, kept doing that for years, couch surfing, getting up to trouble like that, in and out of trouble with the police, mum and dad having to pick me up from the watch house multiple times, all this shit. And as soon as they picked me up one time, remember, mum picked me up, or she come got me and I was off my head, and she's like, your cousin's dead, he's died of a heroin overdose, got his funeral tomorrow. I'm like, fuck. At the moment, I was off my head, like, I'm like, oh fuck, it didn't hit me. Went to the funeral, and how I dealt with everything my whole life was getting high. So as soon as mum dropped me off home after that funeral, I went and got fucking high. And I went back to doing what I went, and I spiraled out even more. And I was never home. And then over time, like hanging around all these people, trying to fit in, and I was making a name for myself there too. So I was graffitiing, fighting. Everyone knew me I could knock out anyone. Everyone knew me I could take the most amount of drugs. Everyone knew me I could steal the most amount of shit. Whatever I did, I'd hyper-focus on. If I was to do good at school, I would have been a fucking doctor. Okay? Like, when I hyper-focus on shit, I'm amazing at what I do. But I never knew that power. I hyper-focused on the wrong things. It channeled my energy into fucking my life up. But at the time, I didn't care about my future. I cared about fitting in, making a name for myself, being known. I was known by people everywhere I went. I was known by people, and I thrived on that. From being not known, for being just another fat kid, to now being feared, being like just accepted, known by everyone, and everyone's looking up to me, and you know, people wouldn't fuck with me, and I'm like, I love this. And I thrived, and I didn't care about my consequences. I didn't care about my family. I didn't care about my health, anything. I didn't give a fuck. As long as I was doing my things, I'd do it. And then, so years went on, and then got in a shit relationship with this chick. It was just drugs. It was just fucking shit. And then broke up with her because I started just not even going out and doing the things I loved. I was hanging around with her, we were smoking cones during the week, and it was just boring. You know, I've gone from this rush lifestyle, graffitiing, fighting, all this shit, spray painting, to sitting in a room smoking cones. I'm like, this is fucking boring. I'm not speaking to my mates anymore. I was like not doing the shit that I felt was my future. So, see you later. Ended that, and then I was drinking one night at Gilhooley's Chermside, and then I got a text message saying, hey, your ex is out with two of your mates and she's hooking up with them, and she's being a fucking slut, all this shit. And I'm just like, I didn't know how to deal with it. I was drunk, I was off my head, just not in a good place. And by this point, when I was seeing her, like I lost a lot of weight when I was doing the drugs, and then when I started just relaxing with her again, I put all the weight back on because I was smoking cones and eating during the week, still getting on the gear on the weekend, but not as much. So then I gained all my weight back. I got up, that was, well, wherever that thing gone. Yep, this. The big one when I was 120 kilos. Yeah, anyway, that was my biggest. I got to 120 and I hated myself. That was not long after I broke up with her, and I was just drinking, trying to get back in that scene. And then everything, just that night when I found out that information, I don't know why, I was just down the road from mum and dad's, was down the road at a pub drinking with everyone. I found that information out. All the years of, like, my mental health never came into fact. I was always high, I didn't care. I didn't have depression yet, I didn't have all these worries because I was constantly fucked up. I didn't care, zero cares. Like, when you're young and dumb, you don't care. There's nothing to care about. But then all those years of disabuse and just self-hate, and then me being back to my fattest again where I started. So I've gone to this journey where I wanted to fit in, make friends, be a part of something, feeling good about all that, and now all these people that I wanted to fit in with, they stabbed me in the back, and like after all, like I would do anything for anyone. I've got a big heart, but I did in the wrong ways. Like I would bash someone for someone back in the day. Like it's stupid, but that's the type of person I was. And at the moment, like I'll go out of my way to help someone now these days. That's what I do. But back then, and then I was walking back home to mum and dad's, couldn't go home because I was embarrassed and ashamed. Yuck. Sorry. Embarrassed and ashamed. So I went to school across the road of mine, and I climbed up on the roof, and I tried taking my own life. I jumped off the roof when I was about 18, and yeah, I tried taking my own life. And then, because it was all too hard, everything just came in one. And yeah, I just didn't want to be here anymore. It was too hard. I couldn't face my family. Everyone I know stabbed me in the back. I was a fat piece of shit again. What the fuck am I meant to do? Why do I want to be here? Fuck this. And then, so I tried taking my own life. Luckily, I just broke my foot. And then I stumbled home. Mum and dad told them about everything. And then they're just like, Dad's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yeah. And then told him everything, and that's when I'm like, I want to change. And this was when I was 18. I'm like, I want to change. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. So my dad was working over in Christchurch in New Zealand on rebuilds and stuff like that, helped working over there, supporting our family at home. And while I was just causing fucking hell. And then the plan was for me to go over there, sober up, work with him, set my life up, just go over there and get away. And I did. Went over there, got clean for 6 months, was over there training, exercising, got a meal plan, got in everything, started feeling good about myself. Over there for about 6 months, I lost about 40 kilos. I went 100 down to about 79, 80. So I lost a heap of weight. I was looking good. I had my abs. I was feeling confident again. But then I kept looking on social media, and everyone they were seeing, because at that age, everyone starts going out clubbing and drinking and having fun in a nightclub scene. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm missing out. Like, I want to go home and show everyone how good I'm looking. And Dad's like, I don't think you should go. And I'm like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I have my whole time, so I'm going to go back home. So caught a flight back home, got a job. I was rendering, I was labouring, I was working full time. Still thought that was all right. Then slowly but surely I just started meeting up with people, and then they were going out drinking on the weekends. So I'd go out drinking on the weekends. Drinking wasn't my problem. I assumed drinking is not speed or smoking ice, so I'm sweet. It's not gonna affect me. Everyone drinks, everyone goes out and parties. It's fine. So I was going out drinking every weekend, and then going night clubbing, and then slowly but surely starting eating pingers, because in my head again, pills, that's not drugs to me. Pills is not ice. Like, I've started up here. These little things are nothing. Okay, so then I started taking pills every weekend, and I was out in the nightclub taking pills, and then my mates that I knew were selling pills in the nightclub, so I'd be getting pills for other people, being middleman, and then when I'll get someone else, I'll take one myself. I'll be like, sweet, I'm getting a free habit here just by helping people in a club. So then, light bulb moment, I'm going to start buying my own pills. So I started selling my own pills in there, started selling my own drugs. And then everyone would come into me and I'll sell 10 and they'll be gone in 5 minutes. I have like $1,000. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, and then I'll get 100. Then I'll get 1,000. And then I'll sell them, and I'm leaving the nightclub with thousands of dollars every time, and it's rocking up the home drunk. But then I'm making all this money selling pills and everything. I didn't need to work. So then my full-time job that I was working at, I'm like, fuck this, I don't need to work. I'm making what I make in a month in one night. So then no work, quit work, went home, just going out selling drugs on the weekend. During the week, mum and dad like, what are you doing with your life? What are you going to find another job? You're doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm sweet. Like, I'm sweet. And then slowly but surely in that night clubbing scene, I started snorting coke. So then cocaine was the next thing from the pills. And same thing, cocaine was not a drug to me. Everyone does cocaine. Everyone parties and does cocaine. Rich people party and do cocaine. I can do cocaine. You know, rich people don't smoke fucking ice. So I thought this was fine. And then slowly but surely I developed a really bad coke habit. Then I was selling pills to support my coke habit. And then I was selling pills Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, not sleeping all weekend, going out selling drugs, partying, coming home, being a mess all week, just like, and they were seeing me go to shit at home Monday, what are you doing, Dust? What are you doing? The amount of times I see mum just be like, fuck's sake. And it kills me. But this is what I was doing. Yet again, I was fitting in out there. I was known as the guy with the drugs. I was known as the guy with the money. I was the guy again, and I'm getting even more attention again. So then I started using all the time, 3 days a week, and then I'm like, I don't want to be fucking depressed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to start using Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, that was my solution. I'm like, if I'm high on the weekends, I'm happy on the weekend. Because I thought being high and being numb was being happy. I assumed it was the same thing. I don't know what happiness is. I've never had happiness. I relied on drugs when I was about 13. I used drugs my whole life to rely on happiness. Ended up trying to take my own life. You know, and then I came back, got in this scene, I got that happiness again. So, but this happiness is okay because it's not the same happiness as before. It's coke, it's not ice, it's not speed, it's fine. Okay, and then I started using coke every day, and then I was using every day at home, selling drugs out of my mum's house, everything like this. They knew what was going on, but they had no control over me. I'm like, I'm fucking sweet. But then same thing with school. I didn't so the same thing with school. I didn't want to be at home. So then what I did, I had all my money. I had shitloads of money, but I was never in drugs for money. I never sold drugs for money. I sold it to be a part of something, to be known, to be fit in, for people to like me, for people to love me. Because that same thing, I didn't have that. And I was seeking that, and this is how I got it. So then I moved out of home, got myself a nice pretty penthouse in Spring Hill, and I was the same thing, using every day there. It was just a trap house. People just came there, did drugs, and it was just like, that's where I lived, and that's all it was. And I just lived it, and then slowly but surely over time, the anxiety got real bad, because over time, cocaine, you get real bad anxiety. So then I started eating Valiums and Xanax, and then I'd have a line of Valium, so I'm speedballing. Okay, I'd eat Valium, Xanax, snort coke, Valium, Xanax, snort coke. It was just how I got through my day. And then over time, that stopped working. I got so anxious, I didn't want to be around people. I pushed away my mates. I was sitting in my room by myself, snorting drugs, sitting there Monday through to Sunday, just sitting there, not even selling much drugs anymore. I didn't want to go outside. I was too paranoid, too anxious, just wanted to be in my own little cocoon in my room. And then over time, my mate came back. My mate that was there, he was coming over, and he would be smoking pipes in the room. He would be smoking ice. And for me, I don't know why, because I was so fucked up, but then I'm like, oh, you give me some of that. And then I went back onto the pipe because I started smoking that, but I wouldn't get anxious. I'll just get high, and I'm like, fuck yeah. But I forgot about all my past where that led me. Okay, then I was starting using ice every day. Okay, I was smoking every day again, off my head every day. Anxious, paranoid. That's a photo of me when I was looking very healthy. Okay, that one was 2-3 days before I went to jail. So 2 days up before that, I was sitting in my room, smoking ice, just living my best life, you know, and then bang, door gets kicked in, police officers everywhere, you're raided, Mr. Cogdale, we find everything. I was not smart. As I said, I wasn't a drug dealer, I was an addict supporting myself. I was never a drug dealer, I was an addict supporting my own habit. Okay, so I didn't hide anything. I didn't use a spare phone. I wasn't smart at all. I didn't have everything. Everything was on the top desk. They had everything ready right there. So they came in, found everything, and then I got locked up in the watch house, got bail on those charges, got out that night. First thing I did, I knew they didn't find this little bag of drugs that was in my apartment. So I went back there and just got high again. That was my number one concern. Didn't care about this getting done. They got all my money, all my drugs. I've got nothing left. So I'm broke, no job, nothing, one little bag of rock. But that was all I cared about. And went back there, then all my mates that I knew, no one wanted to talk to me anymore because I've just been done by the police. So no one wanted to bar me, and I was like, fuck everyone, like, I've done so much for you guys, and you're not my friend now because I haven't got drugs. So I was going to do some stupid shit. Then a mate of mine said, hey man, come up to Cairns. Bright idea. Come up to Cairns and help me up here. He wanted me to help him collect money, do things up there. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's better than Brisbane. So I drove up to Cairns off my head. It was a full-on drive, okay? It was full-on, but I got up there, and then we started just falling back in the old shit. As soon as I drove into the town, first thing, go to an apartment, get on it. And then next minute, I'm out in the nightclubs, getting on it, and I'm fighting again. And anyone who looked at my mate, I'd punch him. Okay, so I got done with assaults years ago as well in a nightclub scene, because one thing that made me tick was bullying. I seen some person that was overweight getting bullied in a nightclub, saying some guy got called, you fat piece of shit, and blah blah. And I just flipped out because I lost my head. I had no temper, and I seen someone getting bullied, and that brought up old shit in me, and I'm like, fuck you. And then got in a lot of trouble for that fight as well. So I was already out on a suspended sentence, and I got done for my drugs. So I had assault, drugs. Then I went up to Cairns, got another assault charge, went and got a nightclub, got in a fight up there, really hurt a guy. And then I was blink of an eye, I'm on a jail bus. I'm on the jail bus into Cairns, Lotus Glen Correctional Centre. Okay, up in there. I landed in jail up in Cairns, and jail up in Cairns is an Indigenous jail. Okay, I'm a little white boy coming down off a shitload of a 10-year bender on ice and drugs, and I'm in this big jail, and that's when everything hit me. I rang mum, and I'm like, I haven't spoken to her for months. I've been up in Cairns, I've been on the run, I've been doing everything, living my best life, and then rang mum. And I said, hey mum, I'm in jail. And she's like, what the fuck? She doesn't swear, but she's like, what? Okay, and I was just like, fuck. And every day in there, my eyes started to open up because I finally gave myself long enough off the drugs to just have a clear mind. My whole life, I never gave myself 3 days. I never gave myself a week. I was always using. During the week, I was stoned. If I wasn't that, I was this. If I wasn't that, I was eating Xanax. It's like, no matter what, I hated being sober, because sober was depressing. Sober was me looking at the person I hated in the mirror. When I was numb, I didn't care about that. So in jail, that's when I started to open up my eyes. And in there, I just walked in, and there's 50 guys looking at you. It's some fucking shit myself, okay? Like, I thought I was this little kid, but there's big, bad people in fucking jail. And I'm like, this is real. Like, I was like, holy shit. And it woke me up. And then every day I just went outside and trained because I didn't want to make eye contact with anyone. I was nervous, I was scared, I was like, fuck, what do I do? And I went outside, just started training, exercising out in the yard. And that's where I just spent most of my day because I didn't have to interact with anyone. I wasn't going to get in a confrontation. Not that I was scared of a confrontation, but if 20 people bash me, I'm fucked. Okay, so I'm like, whatever, keep my head down, train. And then by training, slowly but surely, people were like, hey man, you want to jump in and train with us? And then I've made a friend. I'm like, oh, fucking sweet. Yep, done. Let's train. And then I started training with them every day. And every day I started training and feeling better about myself. Every day, exercising. Yet again, drugs made me fit in before, but now training's making me fit in here. Exercise, training, that's making me fit in and causing me to get through all this stuff. And then every day I rang mum, because when you sit there and reflect, all you do in jail is reflect. And I sit back and look at all the shit I caused. And before I went to jail, mum and dad sat me and my brother down, and she told us she's got cancer. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So by me dealing with that, that's when I got real bad on the drugs, and that's when I started taking ice. So I'm rewinding a little bit. But I didn't know how to deal with emotions, how I dealt with everything. So like I losing my cousins, like all that shit, how I dealt with finding out about mum was fucking get high. And then in jail, I'm sitting there reflecting, and all I'm thinking is I'm not going to be there for her funeral. I'm not going to be able to be there by her side through treatments. I'm not going to be able to do this. I've let my family down. I've left my brother and my father to deal with this shit while I'm in jail, and I can't be there for them. And I felt like a piece of shit, and it ate me up. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do anything, it killed me. So in there every day, training, exercise, I'd wake up, go outside, train my ass off until I couldn't walk, and then I'll be able to sleep that night. But every day my mind got clearer and I got more focused, and I promised myself in there that no matter what happens to her, I'll keep making her proud when I get out of here. And I told her that on the phone all the time. I told her that on the phone all the time. I said, Mum, I promise you when I get out, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do good. I'm going to fucking make you proud. I'm sorry for everything. Because years of shit, I just look back, I was numb the whole time. I didn't realise what I was doing until I'm sitting in jail and not being able to be by her side, be there for my little brother, be there for my dad. So then in there, I just had that over my head thinking she's going to die every night, and I'm sitting in here, I'm stuck in here. And I won't be able to be there for her, and that was eating me up. But I promised myself and I promised her, I said, no matter what, if anything happens, I'm still going to make you proud when I get out of here. I'm going to show you, you're going to have your son back. And she didn't, like, she hoped and dreamed of that, but she didn't believe me, obviously, because look at my track record. I've lied to her my whole life. And then I came out over time, did my time in there, did about 8 months in there, got out on Supreme Court bail, so I still have all my charges pending. So I got out on compassionate grounds because I told her my mum's sick, I need to be there for her, I want to have time with her, because I didn't know when that shit's going to hit the fan. So I was scared every night, so I got bail. So when you go out, but I've still got to go back for sentencing, so I still got to go back and face what charges. So I was on remand. It's where you go in there and you get held until your court date, and then they tell you how much time you got, then you serve. So I came out for that, went to a rehab down at Burleigh, Mirakai, went to a rehab, started doing good work there, got a full-time, just flipping burgers at night, you know, just working, telling mum, look, I'm going to change. I went to that rehab and I started to change the rehab because I started to exercise there, and I was running group classes in the rehab. I was helping all the kids in there, and they were all like, oh, this is awesome. They're all like little drug addicts. They've never trained in their life, but through exercise, they started to feel good. And I was bringing this whole thing. So when I was done my 3 months or whatever it was or 2 months at the rehab that I had to stay there, when I left, I went back there and volunteered, and I kept running group classes with them. And I kept helping them, because I had to do as much shit. One, it felt good, but I had to, my lawyer said, when you get out, go do as much good shit as you can to show the judge you've changed. Because my lawyer said I was looking at 10 years. And I'm like, fuck. So got out, clean piss test every Monday, paid for myself, rehab, counselling, psychologist, you name it, I did it. Fucking everything. Started studying to be a PT, because that's where I fell in love with training and exercise. So I did my PT course, started training. My mate offered me a job at this F45. He bought an F45 and he's like, man, I want you to run it. And I'm like, you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah, run it. And this was my break. This was my chance to make something of myself. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. So started running that, started running the group classes, everything. they were ecstatic. They said, you're the best trainer ever, because I've got energy. I've got a lot of energy. And when I was in there doing something I love, I thrived. And the same thing, I'm getting attention from everyone. I was like, you're the best trainer in the fucking world. I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, and I loved it, okay? It was just like, and I thrived on that. So months went by and I was doing that and I was getting by doing that. And then next minute, my sentencing date comes up. So I'm running this thing and I'm like, I'm not going back to jail. I'm sweet. They're going to let me off because I've done all this good shit. I've got the rehab. I've got letters from a psychologist. I look like a fucking saint. You know what I mean? So then over time, then I went back to sentencing and I sat down with my barrister and lawyer upstairs. Mum and dad were downstairs. He's like, yeah, you're doing 10 years. I'm like, fuck. Okay. And I'm like, this sucks. And I'm just like, what about all the hard work? And then it's like, mate, you've got assault charges and drugs on suspended sentence for another assault. You got caught with more drugs and stuff, because up when I got done for that assault up in Cairns, the apartment that got raided for me, there was drugs everywhere and I put my hand up for it all. None of it was mine, but for me, I was loyal to my brothers. That's what the whole loyalty. And did any of them call me in jail? No. Did any of them stand by me? No. Okay, but I knew I wear my heart on my sleeve and I wouldn't take back a thing, to be honest. That's the type of person I am. But then, so I went back sentencing and then sitting down and I'm like, fuck, 10 years. Didn't even tell them when I went downstairs. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm just going to go in there and see what we get. Went in there and sat down and the Supreme Court judge went through all my shit and she said, look, this is the best rehabilitation I've ever seen as a Supreme Court judge. And she's been doing it 20 years. Best rehabilitation she's ever seen. And she's like, for this, I'll be giving you 4 years and you got to serve 14 or 15 months. And I've done 8 months. So I had to go back to jail, but only for another 6-7 months. So it was a win, but it was also like, fuck, I got this F45. I've been doing all this shit. I thought this was my future. But the F45, they'll wait for me. You know, when I get out, I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to fucking kill it. And then went in there, jail, went back. Same people that I was in there with were still in there. I was like, hey, I'm back. And everyone's like, oh, you're back. So we just started training, getting there. Days flew by. I knew when I was getting out. Got out. Rang my mate that has the F45. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm ready to come back. He's like, fuck no. I'm like, why? And he's just like, man, you're all over the newspapers. He's like, F45 drug dealing, F45 coach. And the thing is, I was out doing good, but the papers have said like I was a piece of shit still and I was dealing drugs out of like I was the F45 trainer that was doing all this behind the scenes when I wasn't. But whatever, okay, they had to play it up and they just had to go with the flow. And they said, look, we had to tell all the members that they didn't know anything, that I blindsided them, I lied about everything I was doing. And I'm like, whatever, okay. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to be a PT. So then I went back to my old club at Good Life Chermside, started training there. Training there all the time. It was great. Like started exercising, training there, helping people. And for a PT, like PTs build a business there. It usually takes them a good year to get like 20 clients, 20 sessions. But me, I knew what I wanted to do. So in jail, I started journaling. I started writing down every morning, I will make my mum proud no matter what. I started writing that down every morning. I said that I'm going to make a difference. Wrote that down every day, that I'm going to make my family proud. I'm going to come out and keep doing what I'm doing. I journaled every morning pages of what I wanted to do, how I was feeling, like stay on track. This is the life. Make your family proud. Remember, no matter what happens to mum, keep doing what you're fucking doing. And every day I wrote down that stuff in my cell. I would meditate in the morning. I'd journal. I'd think about my past, all the pain that I caused, and reminding myself why I'm never fucking going back. And then I continued doing all that stuff when I was out exercising, continued all that journaling, everything I'm doing. That's what I'm teaching people at the moment with this, but I'll get to that. And then, yeah, time went by while I was out there. Good Life Chermside started there. And as I said, PTs take years to build 20 clients in a business. I had 100 sessions in 5 weeks. I was in there, 1 in the morning, I'd wake up, I'd walk to Chermside, sit there in the gym all day, asking people, you want a session? I probably annoyed the fuck out of everyone, but I went up to everyone, hey mate, free session, you want one? Let's go, you and me. I boom, just got in there and I was out there, I was putting myself out there because I wanted to make something of myself, I wanted to be successful. And PT, it's either you make money or you're broke and you've got to pay rent and you're going to be broke. Okay, but I was making ridiculous money there. But I put all my time and effort and all my energy in there. I was in there 1 in the morning, I'd wake up, I'd get there 2:30 in the morning, I'd stay there till 7 at night. Okay, I'd sleep in the little childcare section in lunchtime to get a nap. Obviously no kids were in there, but I'd sleep in there and I'd just get a power nap just to get a bit of energy to go back out because I knew I had to make a name for myself. I knew I had to make my family proud. And that's what I did. every day, and I was at 100 sessions pumping it. Everyone's like, you're going to burn out, mate. PTs don't do that much. Like, no one in Australia does that many sessions. You ask any personal trainer, have you ever done 100 sessions a week? They're like, you're dreaming. Okay, and I was doing that regularly week. I'm like, I'm never burning out. I'll live for this shit. And I did it. I never burned out. Okay, and I was pumping my PT sessions and then making mum and dad proud. When I told dad about the money I was making doing PT, he's like, fuck off. He's like, because he wanted me to be a builder, he wanted me to install this, so he said there's no money in PT. I'm like, fucking watch me. Okay, I was making like $5,000 a week doing PTs, like this, killing it. And he's just like, but then I heard dad on his phone, like, boasting to his mates about me. Sorry. Boasting to his mates about me, saying how well I'm doing. You know, fuck, did it again. So he was boasting to his mates about his son. I've never made him proud my whole life. You know, I do it for mum. I love mum, but for dad to say he was proud of me, fuck, sorry. It was awesome. It just fired me up. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go, okay? And then kept doing it, and then we sat down, and dad's just like sitting by the fire, talking to me, and he's just like, no matter what happens to your mum, no, we're both proud of you. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, that was the biggest moment of my life, you know? And then, wow. Sorry. And then, that just fired me up even more, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna keep going. Just kept doing my thing, grinding. I'm like, I'll keep making you proud. Just kept doing my thing. And then over time, just become super successful in the PT industry. Everyone knew me. I had PTs from other clubs like, oh, you're Darcy, you're that PT. I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. Okay, but then I'm getting that attention again, but for something I love and I'm enjoying, I'm good at. Like, I'll motivate anyone. Okay, but the things I'm doing now, that's when I started to get into all my online coaching that I'm doing now. Speaking in front of those kids that I spoke in front of at that school. Like, one of those kids comes in and sees me every week in the gym. He's in there every day, and his mum comes in too. She's stopped drinking. She's come in and started, because I'm an advocate for being sober. Like, I believe anything that ruins your mindset in the littlest way is not worth it. If having a clear mind, I was high my whole fucking life, and there is no high better than how I wake up now every day, feeling amazing. Like, that's what I'm teaching people. And I started putting videos up on my Instagram. So if you see my Instagram, you see me throw a coffee on my face in the shower every morning. Okay, it's fucking weird, I know. But I'm showing people, like, every morning in jail when I woke up, I had a coffee in my cold shower in my cell. And it was just my little routine. Then I journaled, then I meditated, then I went out and I trained. That was my morning routine. And then when I got out, I sort of wanted to show everyone what kept me on track, started helping people get on track because routine and structure save lives. Routine and structure saved my life. That's what I learned in jail. We wake up at the same time every day. You do the same things at the same, you eat at the same time every day. You stay in routine, and every day was amazing. My mind got clearer and clearer, and it was fucking awesome. And that's what I continued doing when I got out. Kept journaling, kept doing meditation, kept doing my coffee in the cold shower. But then I was like, fuck, I'm obviously, you know, I'm not average person. So I threw the coffee on my face one morning and filmed it on Instagram video, and I'm like, and it just blew up. Everyone's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just sticking to my routine. It's the key. Then I started taking videos of me doing that. Then I'll take photos of my journal every morning, writing down, I'll keep making mum proud, remember how dark everything was, look at you fucking now. Like, all these things, like writing drugs have no purpose anymore, like I'm high in life. All the things and anything that will come on my mind that was positive, I'd write it down every morning. All journaling, I want to make my family proud. I will make them proud, and every day I'll never go back to who I was. And I started putting photos like that up on my Instagram stories, and everyone's like, man, I love what you're doing. And then it started getting traction, and then I had people send me videos of them throwing coffees on their face in the shower, and I'm like, what the fuck, this is cool. And then, so I made a little cult, and that's when I started doing my online business. This is my online DRCFIT. So it's not Dr. C, it's Darcy, because I'm Darcy. Okay, everyone's thought it was Dr. C, it does my head in, but it's all right, I see the mistake. But anyway, I started doing this, and I never expected my online to get to where it is now. Like, my online business is huge. Like, I've cut back my PTs. I PT Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 5 a.m. till 10 a.m. I work 3 days in there, and I just go in there because I love it. My clients in there are like my family. They've been there for like 3 years, and I go and train them every day. They love me, I love them. It's like, I've got this Indian family family that cooks me biryani every week. Like they look after me. It's awesome. I'm loved there, and it's my gym. Everyone knows me there, and that's where I've got a name for myself. But with my online stuff, just kept doing everything, and you know, before my online stuff, I believe in do good and good things happen. Like, massive believer. I've got a tattoo on the back of my head, 94. That's my birthday, so if I ever forget my ID, it's on the back of my head. Okay, and I've got karma and fate. So I believe everything happens for a reason. And karma, you do good, good things happen, you do bad things happen. But when I was out doing good, working away, I found my fiance. She's the most gorgeous person in the fucking world. And she makes, like, that's love. I never had that in my life. You know, I had shit relationships in the past, and then find someone that loves me for me. This is before I'm making a shitload of money. Like, this is like me just being a good person, and she's like just loved me unconditionally since day one. With 4 or 5 weeks, and I moved into her house after I met her. It was like that, and then we just clicked straight away, and then asked her to marry me about, a couple of 6 months in. You know, and this is the type of shit that happens in your life when you're doing good. That's what I'm trying to show people. I put that out on my line, and I do a lot of videos of me speaking to the camera about my past experience with drugs, and I sort of tell people the hard truth, like about sitting in a room off your head alone, like all the things, and I talk about all situations I've been in the past, and a lot of people can relate to my story. There is a lot of people suffering from addiction, depression, drug use, everything. All you probably know someone in your life right now that's going through addiction, and it's fucking hard. Watching someone you love fall apart in that life, it's fucking hard. Because you're helpless until they hit that rock bottom or they find a way out, and not many find a way out. But that's why I'm trying to help people. That's what I do on my online. So my online coaching, I teach people mindset work. I teach people my daily routines, everything like that. I get them to journal. I don't get them to throw a coffee on their face, but I get them to have a cold shower every morning. I get them to journal their feelings. I get them to write down all these things. I get them to send it to me every day, and I'm there for them. Like, I send them voice messages on Instagram, like, hey man, yeah, just supporting them, because they've never had that before, and I'm hope to them. You know, they're not gonna, there's fitness coaches all online. You've probably seen thousands of them, born with a 6-pack, pumping shitloads of steroids, and they're like, yeah, come get fit with me, eat this. Like, people can relate to my story because they see where I've come from. I'm hope for these people. So the amount of people that message me saying, I love what you're doing, thanks, you've helped me. I get people that have started with me messaging me. The message and feedback I get is out of this world. People message me saying, hey man, I've got people's daughters messaging me saying, thanks so much for helping my dad. He's never had him like this before. You know, like, it's made my day, and people just like saying, hey man, me and my partner aren't fighting anymore, like all situations like that, just from cutting out toxic shit, working on yourself, and me being able to be there for them. You know, and the same thing with these kids that I'm mentoring in the school. Like, this kid, I'm like, it's his favorite day of the week coming and seeing me, because he can talk to me as a friend, like, because I've been where he's been. And he was all shut off at the start. Jack was all shut off at the start. But then once he started opening up to me, he's bouncing around calling me a dickhead, and like this, like, we're having fun together in the gym, and now he's loving it. You know, and it's just like that one person I've changed life, and every person that has reached out to me for help with my coaching, I've literally changed their life. I've never failed anyone I've coached. And it's blowing up. Like, it's just, I'm getting 100, 200 messages a day. I've got to set hours that I'm on the phone, because this is like, you're not talking to me anymore. I'm like, love you, you know. But we spend time on the weekends and shit. But Monday to Friday, I'm flat stick. You know, but Monday to Friday, I'm flat stick, and I'm doing shit, and I'm going around. And I get to go around and be at my parents' house, go see them every weekend, be by my mum's side, go there and be proud of what I'm doing, show them what I'm doing. Like, they can't believe how much money I'm making, but they're just like, what the fuck? And it's just being able to help them, help support them, give back to them. You know what I mean? Like, giving back, and that's just life, and that's my fire, and having such a good partner, and just everything's going good in my life. And now I'm helping people go down this same track that are struggling. And I get everyone to reach out to me, and I just tell them where I've come from. Everyone, I've done podcasts. There you go. Scare the shit out of you. Yeah. So I've done podcasts, I've done heaps of stuff, and that got traction at this like social media. You get one avenue, it blows up here, and then it spiderwebs out here, and I'm getting 1,000 messages a day, loving what I'm doing. People see where I've come from, and it's great. And doing something like this, like I was doing a little YouTube channel and shit, starting to get that out next year. So I'm going to start showing people my journey, me helping these kids, and just showing people there's a better life, because all drugs and partying, it's all fun and games at the start, but over time it will take over your life. It will come to the anxiety, the depression will come. You will end up sitting in your room alone doing drugs by yourself. When you wanted to go out and be social on it, it was a social thing, then you get too anxious when you do it. Then you just want to do it in your room at home on a Friday night just with the boys. Then you don't even want the boys around because, you know, you're too off your head and you get too anxious and you get too paranoid. So you're just like, fuck it, I'll just do it by myself in my room. And everyone will get to that point. Everyone I talk about this to, they're like, bro, that's me right now. And they reach out to me. I'm there for them. I show them all my shit. I fucking get them on my coaching. And I start helping them heaps. And it's just, what I'm doing is help change a lot of lives. And it's fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was fucking hectic. I cried and shit.
You got me.
Huh?
I had to look away a few times.
That was good. So that was my first big speech in front of a shitload of people. It was good. I fucking, that's a start. It's obviously started fucking crying and shit, but then I opened up and I flowed, It was good. But that's a wrap. That's DRC. I want to start, you wait, I'm going to keep doing this shit and I'm going to be speaking in bigger crowds. That's a goal. That's going to happen. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to be some Tony Robbins shit. The Tony Robbins motherfucker. It'd be good. Except Tony Robbins never did fucking drugs. I did. Okay. Sweet, bro. That was mad. Boom. That was sick.